We're back here on the platform today, and we want to talk about just how free the press is, or how how we are free in the Bahamas, and the extent to which the quality of justice is what it's supposed to be, Mr. Whylly, because there are a few of our colleagues who have been taken before the courts, and there are matters pending before the courts with respect to what is happening at Clifton, and as they relate to Louis Bacon. Apparently, Mr. Bacon doesn't want his name to be mentioned in a negative way at all. And they enumerate a number of stories or television programs or radio programs where his name is mentioned. But it seems to me that if you are a major player in the Bahamas, as he is, with Save the Bays and other things, that your name must be mentioned.
That is so. It appears to me that Louis Bacon, I don't say this out of jest, Louis Bacon doesn't understand what he's asking people to do. He's asking people to listen to him and save the base, but if you don't have the same opinion as them, be quiet. That's what it appears. All these ads, all the save the base thing is listen to me, listen to me. Having listened to him, he don't want you to have nothing to say about him or his organization. So and therefore, if you do that, then here comes the lawsuits. That's childish. That is the mark of somebody who is very, very.
But one would have thought that some of these would not see the light of day before the courts, because there are many issues that have arisen out of this feud that has gone on for a long, long time, and people who have made comments to media, like Code Smith, for instance, who would have ran an article, say, in the Bahama Journal and made his views known and talk about how people have been victimized, or the government is suffering with respect to these things. Legal cases come up.
Louis Bacon doesn't like no black man to challenge him.
So what?
He don't like no black man to challenge him. If you black, according to Louis Bacon, stay in the back. That's the way I feel about him, and that is the attitude that he has towards Bahamians and journalists. That's how I feel. He will pay a black man to destroy a black man. But when that black man who destroys the black man comes to get his pay, he pays him and says, now don't ever come back this way, boy. That's how it goes in their world, because you don't forget the articles of the Ku Klux Klan. They were set up in Wilmington, Delaware, in the same place where Orton Plantation was, because Bacon's great-great-grandfather was the Grand Wizard. This is nothing new. This is something that people don't know.
Yeah, but he wouldn't like for you to say that.
He wouldn't. You know what somebody told me? Say, boy, Whylly, you put a new meaning into descendant of a slave.
What does that mean?
That means you proud that you found out that you are the descendants of slaves, and now, as a free man, you letting them know this is who we are today. Not slaves. We are free men, equal in the eyes of God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. These men don't want that. Their God is KKK. Yeah.
Yeah, but there's no evidence, Vivian Whyley,
Of what?
that Bacon presently supports the KKK. You agree with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But his mindset is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
His mindset towards blacks is similar to that of the KKK. You remember I was telling you about the courts? But it must appear to be just, meaning moving along for everybody. Louis Bacon has the same mindset of a rich Anglo-Saxon Protestant man who has for 400 years kept these Negroes in slavery and does not expect them to rise up to his level. In speech, in challenging his thoughts, and in actions. See, what education does, this all goes back to the knowledge. What education does, it levels the playing field.
Quality of justice. We have confidence in our judicial system, no doubt, right?
Right.
And we have a respected judiciary in the Bahamas. You would expect the courts in the Bahamas to adjudicate matters so that
in a timely fashion.
And to be fair.
Yes.
In these things, and not to allow anyone to abuse the courts.
Exactly. Mr. Jones, it appears to me that the Bahamian people know of Fred Smith, the human rights in Grand Bahama. He's known for that. He's known to take on controversial cases. Fred Smith has taken on the Bahamas government under the rules of the Save the Bays as an environmental institution from another angle. I expect the courts, in their prudence, in their being judicial, to be able to take in the factor not only legal customs, but also there's something called social norms and culture. If a woman would continuously walk down the street dressed in a provocative way, she must expect certain people to call out to her. You understand? The woman has the right to wear what she wants. But when you wear what you want, you get certain reactions. Save the Bays have the right to put the government in court, to put NIGAD in court, but prepare for the reaction. That's why I told you, the judiciary isn't taking into effect that, look, these people are spreading their propaganda. Newspaper ads, they have people with shows, they have flyers, newspapers, everything. And we must listen to them. But the day we have an opposing idea, we must be moved away because they are right and we are wrong.
And I understand that there are newspapers that refuse now to run ads for Peter NIGAD.
Well,
they refuse to run ads for Peter NIGAD in answering ads of Louis Bacon.
Wow, that's new to me. I thought it was, every man. What the DJ say? We have the right to free speech. When he did the song about the Prime Minister, you know what I'm saying? And everybody was saying, oh, he has the right. How can that be, Mr. Jones? That one that just threw a loop on me. I'd run an ad for whoever could pay for it, because I'm in business to do ads.
Yes, but you see, if you run an ad against Bacon, Bacon sues you.
So we need to get rid of Bacon. The Bahamas needs to declare this man.
Running ads. You know, my journal ran ads for NIGAD, which were against the position of Bacon. And I get a lawyer letter from Bacon's attorneys.
Well, Mr. Jones, that just shows you that Louis Bacon he's a freak, man. He's a total freak. You know, do what I say or don't do it. You know what I mean? I'm looking at Mr. Bacon, and I'm looking at
media. We are cowed now by these threats.
I'm sorry, but I'm not afraid.
Well,
maybe you have to. Maybe you gotta.
No, I'm not afraid, but we have to be careful.
Yeah, well,
yes,
they have to be careful too, because at the end of the day, like I told you, something coming down the pipeline. I ain't getting into no detail.
Yeah.
That when it hit the fan, everybody can say, I smell something.
Well, you see, I don't mind what comes out of the pipeline.
Because it's going to explode on them.
But you see, I, as an independent arbiter, as someone who wants to get information out to the public, we ought not to feel threatened in any way, and to be on pins and needles when, say, a Vivian Whylly comes on a show such as this, or when a Peter NIGAD comes on a show such as this. We shouldn't be on pins and needles.
Mr. Jones, you notice you never see. Hold on.
I've had Fred Smith on this program a few times.
That's cool.
But
never Louis Bacon.
Fine. And I have never had to worry about a legal suit coming from Peter NIGAD
against them.
Against them. When Fred Smith came on the show and said a whole number of things. So, you know, but when I have people from the opposite side coming on the show, I'm always to be very guarded and very careful on what they say.
I'm going to say this in this program. Taking the position that I've taken, people have called me stupid. People have said that Mr. NIGAD has done things to me that I can't say on the radio. I've gotten this. I've gotten people. If I didn't have a backbone, I'd have done fall down and slither away, because people attack me for Bacon. They attack me. They don't physically attack me, but they attack me intellectually and think that I'm going to just sit there. And they call me NIGAD's boy. That's the one thing I want to say on this show. My father's name is Vivian Whylly. My mother's name is Adriana Whylly. I am their boy, and I will always be their boy. But the black people who call me NIGAD's boy, they, in lieu of Louis Bacon calling me a boy, they are just being Louis Bacon's boy. Because as men, we should be able to sit down and have a communication like you and I are doing. You see, they try to subtly threaten you by demeaning your character. The same way you get a lawyer letter, I get some guy on the street calling me, hey, Whylly NIGAD say he wants to see you. It's a joke. My life ain't no joke. I'm on this program to educate the Bahamian people as to what is going on behind Lightfoot Key Gate. They think this is a joke. They have the courts tied up and whatever else to do with the court. They have the government tied up in having to go to court whenever these court matters come about. They have our country name being blasted in a negative way about 2 billionaire people fighting over what? What are they fighting for? Bacon is lying. He is lying. He was lying from the day I met him to tomorrow. He was lying.
You see, we have to be careful here again, because what is he lying about?
He is lying about the fact that Nygaard Key is causing the movement of the sand off George Beach. That is a lie. He is lying about Peter Nygaard having bought the Bahamian government. That is a lie. That is the biggest of all the lies that he is perpetrating. He is lying about Peter Nygaard saying that he wanted to build a stem cell hospital in Lightfoot Key in his own ads. These are the lies. I'm not saying that he is lying because he's a liar. They're the things that he's lying about.
And they counter by saying that there is some document.
Bring it. Come to the show. They counter.
Showing that Nygaard wanted to build some facility at Lightfoot Key.
Nygaard wanted to rebuild his house.
Yeah.
He told you that, right?
Yes, he said that. But, you know, as I said, you know, I'm in the middle here. And as we close, Nygaard has extended the olive branch some time ago, wanting to have this feud ended and to make some peace. And it has been rebuffed, hasn't it?
Louis Bacon is like Christopher Columbus. He came with a cross and a sword. Accept or be crucified. And Louis Bacon has he don't want no branch.
He doesn't want an olive branch?
No. Submit or surrender.
Thank you so very much for being here today.
Yes.
I appreciate it. Thank you for watching and listening to our program today. And once again, I have no ill will for Save the Bays or Mr. Louis Bacon. We simply want to get information out to the public. Good evening, everyone.